Yeah, I think what we're going to do here, chat, is we're going to take the cobblestone generator, and like I said, I think we might make a few more of these potentially to really increase the amount of cobblestone that we're producing, but the plan is also to grab a crafter from RF Tools, which again, really shouldn't be too difficult. We might have to make a little bit of steel here. Yeah, we do, and actually, this is kind of the perfect time, I think, to teach our system how to make steel. Let's grab one more blank pattern, if we can. And I feel like going forward, whenever we run into an issue like this where we need, quite a bit of a single resource like steel, and we have the machine ready to make it, we can always go ahead and just teach our system real quick how to do that. So in this case, it's 1 iron and 2 coal equals 1 steel. That is easy enough to do. So we can tick processing. We can go back again to the alloy furnace, shift-click that in, encode, and then at that point, all we should have to do is tell the system that, hey, I want, let's say, 30 steel. Boom, and it should do it. All right, so I think, where do I want to put this? I think I might put this kind of up here, maybe? Actually, maybe I'll put it maybe over here a little bit. Sure, let's kind of get rid of this for now. We're going to have the cobblestone generator, which I'll put like here. We'll have the compacting drawer, which for now we'll put right about there. And then, just as kind of a proof of concept, I might end up moving some of this stuff around, but I think what we will do is we'll grab a flat transfer node. We're going to put that on there. So all of the stone is going to get pulled from here into the crafter. Now, we only want the one kind of cobblestone. We only want double compressed cobblestone here. So I think what we're going to do is grab like a bunch of dirt, and then I'm going to fill all of the other slots here with dirt, and then click the Remember Current Items button. So now, if we take all the dirt out, only double compressed cobblestone has a slot in here, and only that should be usable. The idea here is that we're generating regular cobblestone. The compacting drawer is effectively crafting that into double compressed cobblestone. And then in here, we're going to craft that into triple compressed cobblestone, which we're then going to run through our dissolver, because if we look at the compressed cobblestone, the more compressed it is up to a point, the better your yields are. So for example, compressed cobblestone has a 1.09% chance to give you iron. Double compressed cobblestone has a 1.6% chance, and it also, by the way, has 81 rolls. So it does this 81 times. So you get the added benefit of using all of the extra cobblestone, but also having a higher percentage chance of getting iron. And then the triple compressed cobblestone takes it up even further to 2.08. You can push this one step farther and go with quadruple. However, the quadruple compressed cobblestone doesn't have higher percentages, so there's no reason to craft it into quadruple compressed. At that point, you're just wasting the power of the crafter. You might as well go with triple, and then after quadruple, it looks like you can't use it in the dissolver anyway. So I think triple is kind of the sweet spot here. So all we have to do is shift-click in the recipe for triple compressed cobblestone and hit apply. And then as soon as we give this guy power, which of course we're going to do via the XNet controller, then should start crafting all of our double compressed into triple compressed, at which point I think what we'll do is we'll have a dissolver right about here. And I am going to make a new dissolver if we have what it takes, which it looks like we very much so do. And again, we'll use a flat transfer node like so, put the dissolver down right about there. And so what we should see is all of the triple compressed cobblestone being dissolved in here once it has power. And then from there, I think we'll just put an import bus on the back of this to start pulling in all of the gold, all of the iron, all the aluminum, and all the silicon dioxide into the system. And then at that point, we probably want to get a couple of chemical combiners so that we can start exporting all that iron, gold, and aluminum to produce iron ingots, gold ingots, and aluminum ingots. That's the plan. For now, though, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's see if we can't get 2 blue connectors here. So yeah, we're going to run this across, over, and just like before, we'll have 2 connectors here and here. And in fact, we actually don't need that guy there. And yeah, that should hopefully work just fine. So let's go and let's set you to send power to the dissolver and also to the crafter. Insert. And then, I guess for now, actually, I was going to put an importer down, but I guess we can just go ahead and extract from the chemical dissolver and pull all of those items into the import chest. That should also work just fine. Yeah, that does appear to be working. Perfect. So, like I said, what we might end up doing, potentially, is we might end up making a few more cobblestone generators because they're really not too difficult to make. We do have a bunch of resources now. So we could make a few more of these, kind of hide them back here, and then just pump all of the cobblestone into that crafter and have it work from there. The crafter can go very fast, and so can take quite a lot of double compressed cobblestone and turn it into triple compressed cobblestone very quickly. And the chemical dissolver is also quite fast as well. For now, though, we'll see how this goes, and we'll see how much iron, gold, and aluminum we get. And speaking of iron, gold, and aluminum, let's grab those dissolvers. So, or those combiners. So I did mention it before, but unfortunately, due to the way that refined storage works with autocrafting, I'm fairly certain that we're going to have one chemical dissolver for almost every recipe that we want to autocraft. And that's not too big of a deal. The chemical dissolvers are not particularly difficult to make. It's 4 iron, 2 obsidian, 1 diamond, 1 steel, and 1 piston, especially now that our system knows how to make steel, and now that we're getting diamonds from our pulverizer and from our laser drill, and due to the fact that we can obviously get quite a bit of obsidian from the end, we can make quite a few of these fairly easily. It just means setting them all up and giving them more power, which can be a little bit tedious. So it also means we have to find a place to put them, and I think I'm going to start autocrafting this stuff over in the laser drill room. So for now, let's put these down like in this wall here. We'll put down 1 for iron, gold, and aluminum. Sure. And then all we're going to do here, I think, is we're going to lock each of these to their respective ingot recipe. So we'll have 1 for making iron ingots. We'll have 1 for making gold ingots. And we'll have 1 for making aluminum ingots. Like that. And then all we're going to do from there is we're going to get 3 exporters and tell our system to export any iron, any gold, and any aluminum that it gets into these assemblers to make sure that all of our iron, gold, and aluminum elements are made from the cobblestone are directly turned into ingots that are usable, for us for autocrafting. So we should have what it takes to make 3 exporters. We do, perfect. And all we're going to do is quickly eat some liquid meat. Perfect. And then we're going to have the exporters down here, here, and here. One of those is going to take iron, which we have quite a lot of, obviously from our cobbles gem, but also from our mob spawner. The other one is going to take gold, which we have less of, but we are getting slowly but surely. And the third one is going to take that aluminum, and we're just going to go iron, gold, and aluminum. Then if we go ahead and connect that up to our pre-existing refined storage system, which is going to require a little bit more cable, and is probably also going to require that we do something maybe a little bit like this, just so we can actually get around the base going forward. And that should now begin to export all of those resources round and into here. It does. And given that the recipe is locked, it shouldn't put in more than 16. It shouldn't put in more than a stack, is what I should say there. It shouldn't fill up more than one of the stacks here. And then again, all we have to do is connect those up with XNet, and we should be pretty much good to go. We can then pull the resultant product back into the import chest and also provide them with power. And yeah, that should be a nice, easy, somewhat passive source of iron, gold, and aluminum. So insert, insert, and insert, and then extract, extract, and extract. And we all make this stack just in case. Perfect. And so yeah, that should now be working as a nice passive source of iron, gold, and aluminum. It could potentially be the case that maybe we want to look at adding some speed upgrades to these exporters, depending on how fast our iron, our gold, and our aluminum are coming in. I'm going to leave these for now, because I think they might be fast enough. I don't really think we're getting the iron in that quickly. Yeah, it does seem to be going down slowly but surely, so I think eventually this will, run through the backlog that we do have. In the future, if we do want to add more cobblestone generators and really try and make this even faster, we could look at changing it, but for now, I think that is perfectly fine. And so let's go ahead and see if we can't make this nether star. The first one here, I think, is one of the easiest. You'll see it says it can be obtained by dissolving pulverized charcoal. So charcoal is something we can get fairly easily, and we do have pulverized charcoal ready to go. So if we go ahead and start dissolving that, it does get us this titanium oxide, which we can then dissolve even further. And that looks like it's going to be more than enough titanium there. Perfect. And people have been complaining that I've not claimed my rewards, so I will go ahead and claim these. I have no idea, by the way, which one of these is good, which is why I've not claimed it. But I'm going to go ahead and claim the bow, just so people will stop complaining about that. And then we'll also go ahead and, I guess, claim the fusion electromagnets. So once we have the titanium, the dysprosium here is a little bit trickier. And it looks like really the only way for us to make this is via the breaking down of either cobblestone or regular stone. Yeah, it looks like stone has a significantly higher chance here at just shy of 1%, whereas the cobblestone is at 0.14%, so almost a tenfold increase there. So really, we want to run a lot of stone through a dissolver. If it's a 1% chance, that means about 1 in every 100 stone is going to give us some of the element we're after. If we need 64, that means we need to put about 6,400 stone through that. So I think what we might want to do here is set up a little bit of an automated system. We do have 8,500 silicon dioxide, and so if we can get one more dissolver here, I think all we need to do really is get potentially another exporter, and then export the silicon dioxide, and then have that pump directly through into the chemical combiner. So yeah, let's do that. We're going to put this down in a temporary location. I think I'll put it down over here just because we have this this power cell. So all I'm thinking is we're going to have the dissolver with the exporter, and I think I will temporarily grab like a stack and speed upgrade out of here because I don't think this needs it anymore, but also this is only temporary, and we can always put it back there in the future. So then we'll go and do this with the flat transfer node to send all of the... Oh no, we want to do this a different way, right? We want to do this with the combiner down. The combiner is then going to send the stone over to the dissolver like that. Yes, that should work just fine. So I want you to export silicon dioxide, specifically in a way that would make stone. Perfect. And we should also go ahead and make sure this guy has enough power. There we go. And that's going to make stone, send it over. If we go ahead and put in a speed and stack upgrade in there, that should send a lot of silicon dioxide over. And at that point, it looks like the limiting factor is the stone. I do think it's entirely possible that if we can get like 2 blue connectors here, I think the XNet system is capable of moving items faster than the flat transfer node is. So where's our nearest cable? It's over here. This is going to be a temporary cable, and we are going to need some more network cable to actually make it work. But if we do something like this, and very temporary, if we do this, and then we can, I think, maybe leave the flat transfer node there. I'm just thinking that if we come over here, set up a new temporary item channel, and then extract from, I assume we're extracting from this chemical combiner and inserting into this chemical dissolver. And again, if we start to stack and every 10 ticks, I think that's going to very rapidly begin moving the stone into here, just so long, of course, as this actually has power. And of course, at this point, we can actually use the XNet system to send that power. That should hopefully begin working. It is, yeah, and it's sending that over like as fast as it's being made, which is perfect. So now we just need to begin like importing all of this, which again, we can probably do just via the XNet controller. We can send that all over to the import chest, and hopefully the import chest is just fast enough to work with it all. So we'll go ahead and click create and extract. And yeah, so we should now finally have stone or silicon dioxide being exported, turned into stone, sent over through the XNet system, and also kind of through the flat transfer node into the chemical dissolver. That chemical dissolver is then breaking down the stone, and then all of the resultant products from that are being hopefully exported over into this chest, which is then hopefully going to bring everything back and into the system. That's the plan. It looks like we can maybe pull back a little bit on... Oh no, maybe not. It might just be a case that we should look into getting more speed upgrades, because this over here is now backing up. Yeah, it's probably worth us getting another stack upgrade as well. Okay, so now everything is moving in nice and quickly. Do we have anywhere near enough of the element that we're after? We have 4 of the dysprosium that we need there. And I think it's going to take a little while, like I said, quite possibly a few thousand stone before we get up to the stack that we're after. So that should be probably done by the time we come back for the next stream, but that's not going to stop us from looking at getting the MD element here. So this one says dissolve wither skulls and dust. So we need 64 of this. You get 32 from each wither skeleton skull, and you get 8 from each wither dust. Do we have any wither skeleton skulls? We do not, but we do have 9 wither dust, both of which you can get from just killing wither skeletons, which we did kill a few of previously. And so actually this is going to be a nice and easy 64 Mendelevium. Nice. And then finally, the last element here that we need in order to get the nether star is the LT, or the LU, sorry. The lutetium, which requires purple blocks by the looks of it. Let's have a look here. Yeah, you got a 50% chance from each purple block. So if we need a stack of these, we need 2 stacks of purple blocks. It says end cities are disabled, so you'll have to farm chorus plants, then smelt them into chorus fruit, then combine the popped chorus fruit into purple. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we have to get chorus fruit, and then we have to smelt the chorus fruit, and then craft the chorus fruit. Okay, that actually shouldn't be a problem. If we quickly dump out some of the stuff we don't need in our inventory here, and we head on through to the end, I think we should be able to find a lot of chorus fruit fairly quickly, and then hopefully using our nuclear furnace, we should also be able to smelt that fairly quickly as well. All right, so 2 and a bit stacks of chorus fruit later, we should now just be able to throw basically all of that into the old nuclear furnace. And that should be basically everything for this quest line. And then at that point, all we need to get the nether star is just to wait until we have enough of the dysprosium here to actually craft the nether star, right? And so I think we will pivot away from that into trying to automate some polymer clay. Because right now, this setup here is not automated. I have to come on, I have to put polymer clay into both of the simulation chambers in order for this to work, and I also have to manually take out all of the hellish matter and all of the overworldian matter, otherwise the whole thing clogs up and stops working, kind of like it has done right now. In general, that's not a huge problem because we do have usually a good backlog of pyrotheum dust, but every now and again, we do kind of run out and things get a little bit dicey. And so ideally, we want to get some importers on the back of the simulation chambers to pull in all of the overworldian and hellish matter. And on top of that, we want to get some exporters on there with crafting cards to be able to auto-craft and send the polymer clay that we're hopefully going to be able to make over to the system. So 2 stacks of chorus fruit, 2 stacks of popped chorus fruit. Let's craft these up. Perfect. That completes the purple quest there. And then let's see if we can't get a stack of lutetium, as well as a ton more silicon dioxide. So we got more than half a stack there, which is a good sign. That gives us a very good chance of getting more than a stack here. We got unlucky, unfortunately. That second stack was nowhere near as lucky as the first one. So thankfully we did bring extra chorus fruit along here. So hopefully this will be more than enough to get us to that 1 stack mark. All right, let's try that again. So we're going to put in 9 or 36 more. That should give us approximately 18 more. So if we don't get up to a stack here, that would be tremendously unlucky. Yeah, no, we did it. Perfect. All right. So that is that done. And so now hopefully at the start of the next stream, we should have everything it takes to complete these quests here and to unlock the nether star. I will go ahead and claim these loot crates, which for now I'm going to put in the system. And like I said, let's pivot over and see if we can't automate this polymer clay. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get down some importers. Now, how do I want to do this actually? I think we might not want to use importers, and instead we might want to use XNet, right? Because again, XNet can be covered up. So I think what we'll do is let's grab 2 connectors. And I think I'm going to put these on the top of both of these. So we'll get rid of you. And we'll also get rid of a few of these actually now. Yeah, let's get rid of those. Let's put down 2 connectors like here and here. Those are going to both provide power and also pull out the extraterrestrial matter, hopefully, or the hellish and overworldian matters. So we are, of course, going to move these chemical dissolvers and combiners. Like, this is not the permanent home of them, even though they have been there for quite some time now. Let's get more network cable, and let's run that around here. like that. So now, of course, what we should be able to do is, as you've seen 1,000 times before, we should be able to send power by setting both of these to insert on the power channel, and then extracting, hopefully, all of the matter by setting these to extract and stack like that. So hopefully there's no matter left in here now. There is. Okay, so it's pulled out the data model, which is less than ideal. I think we can rectify this. Let's see. If I whitelist these two, maybe that will work. Let me rename this one to Blaze. And let's rename this one to Witch. And then let's try something here. So we want to extract on the Blaze. We want to whitelist Hellish Matter, which you can do by putting that here. And then on the Witch data model, we want to whitelist Overworldian Matter. I'm not sure if that's going to work. Yeah, it looks like it's not, unfortunately. The deep mob learning machines can be a bit finicky as to where they accept items, which is unfortunate. I do think that if we were to move these to the back of the machine, that might work. So once again, we'll name this one Witch, and we'll name this one Blaze, just so we can distinguish between them over in the controller. And then again, hopefully, let's go ahead and insert power. I believe you can insert power on any channel. And then we'll go ahead and extract. This one is Blaze, so we want Overworldian Matter, extract, stack, and then here we want to, of course, extract Overworldian Matter. It was Hellish Matter for the Blaze one, and then Overworldian Matter for the Witch, extract. So hopefully that is working. Yes, that is now pulling the matter in. So it looks like maybe you can only pull the matter from the back, or at the very least, you can't pull the matter from the top, unfortunately. What I'm going to do here then is going to be a little janky, and we'll come back to it in a second. Let's pivot over and see if we can't automate this polymer clay. So polymer clay is made from gold, iron, lapis, and clay. We have hopefully just automated gold and iron. Obviously, we're not making a ton of it, but we have just automated it with this cobblestone setup here. And actually, let me quickly grab some facades just to cover those up. So let's do you and you. And then while I'm at it, I might as well also go ahead and do these two and these three. Just to tidy that up a little bit. And of course, this cable is not permanent. That's going as soon as we have enough of the stone burning element that we're after. But yeah, so the iron and the gold we're hopefully making now, at least slowly but surely, with our cobblestone generator. And we're also continually getting iron ore and gold ore from our laser drill. And eventually we will look at processing those ores into ingots as well. We're also hopefully getting lapis now from our laser drill. And that lapis should be being processed in the pulverizer to the point where we now have 1,600 lapis ready to go. So the only thing that we're really missing here is clay. So as we saw before, we can make a block of clay using Overworldian Matter and dirt. And given that a block of clay equals 4 regular clay, and 4 regular clay equals 16 polymer clay, and if we assume that our polymer clay is going to be evenly distributed among these two simulation chambers, that means that approximately half of the 16 is going to go to the Witch, and half is going to go to the Blaze. That means that for every 4 clay that we make, we should get approximately 8 Overworldian Matter back, right? Because 8 polymer clay is going to go into the simulation chamber. Every single polymer clay in the simulation chamber gets an Overworldian Matter. And so, effectively, by doing that, we should be able to turn 1 Overworldian Matter into 8, which is good. It means that it's a positive, cycle. On top of that, we can also produce dirt with Overworldian Matter. I think all we need to do here is teach our system how to make stone, which should be very doable. Teach our system how to make dirt using Overworldian Matter and clay using Overworldian Matter and the aforementioned dirt, and then also teach our system how to craft blocks of clay into regular clay. And at that point, I think we should be good to go. So let's grab one more crafter. Unlike in the last stream, this crafter is going to be solely used for regular crafting. It's not going to be used as part of a machine. I think we are going to want to have a second one for a machine, and that does require yet more quartz-enriched iron. How are we doing on iron? We've got 412. Fantastic. So let's grab like another stack of quartz-enriched iron, and let's grab another machine casing, and hopefully just another crafter in general. Perfect. So one of these, I'm just going to put like in the wall over here. I think we'll have like a little area for crafters, at least until we get the multi-block crafter from Reborn Storage. And we'll have those just like pointing up, I guess, for now. That crafter is just going to be for regular, everyday crafts. So we'll connect it up. And then if we go over to the pattern terminal, and of course, quickly grab a few more patterns, what we should be able to do is teach our system how to make clay from blocks of clay, how to make blocks of clay from dirt and overworlding matter, how to make dirt from stone and overworlding matter, and then how to make stone using silicon dioxide in the chemical combiner, like this. So all we're going to do is we're going to put all three of the first recipes, so the clay, and the dirt, into this crafter, which is hooked up. So our system now knows how to make those. And then over here, we're going to put down one more chemical combiner. Again, given that we have to get one chemical combiner for each crafting recipe, we are going to have to do something like this. We're then going to lock this to the stone recipe. We'll provide it with power using our Ethernet cable. We'll get one more connector in a second. And on top of that, we're going to put down the crafter, like so. And that crafter, of course, is going to have the stone pattern. And on the back, all we have to do now is actually connect that up with cable. And that should work just fine. Let's grab that blue connector. We should probably look at teaching our system how to make blue connectors, because we are making a ton of them at this point. And I will name this one to Stone Crafter. Let's find our stone connector. Let's give it power. And then let's extract it into the import chest. And yeah, that should be good to go. So now if I ever want regular stone, and we can once again go ahead and cover this up. But now if we want regular stone, we can type it in. We do have 500. I believe that you can hold like Alt, Shift, and then click. Or is it maybe Control, Shift, click? Yeah, so you can Control, Shift, left click, allows you to craft even if you have some of the item. So if we wanted, let's say, a stack of stone, start, that should begin pumping 64 silicon dioxide into the chemical combiner. That turns it into stone. The stone is then pulled out, sent to the import chest, and then put into the system. And so as you can see, we are slowly but surely getting stone. Nice. So the final piece of the puzzle here is to get another exporter. And this time to also get a crafting card, which works just like the speed upgrades, but it's a crafting upgrade. I think we have to make the actual upgrade base itself and then craft that up into a crafting upgrade. What that's going to allow us to do is that's going to allow us to export items that we currently don't have, but that our system does know how to craft. So given that we can't put the exporters onto the simulation chambers, like we could break the lamp here and put the exporter on top, but we can't cover up the exporter because the white lamp cannot be made into a facade. So what I think we're going to do is I'm going to make a new storage door. And I'm also going to make something that I don't make very often, and that is a storage downgrade, which is what you can do with this flint upgrade here. It does require an actual upgrade template there, but that's easy enough to make. So what we're going to do is we're going to craft a regular storage drawer that can normally hold 2048 of any item. But then we're going to downgrade it to only be able to hold one stack, because what we don't want is we don't want our system making 2048 polymer clay. That would be a huge waste of all of our lapis, iron, and gold that we have right now. So instead, what we're going to do, and again, please forgive the jankiness, but if we get a new connector and we put down this basic drawer, let's say right about here, we'll then put down the blue connector beneath it, like so. We'll call this one polymer clay. And I guess it doesn't really have to be here. In fact, actually, this is going to be a lot easier if it's not here. Those lamps are way too easy to break. Let me go and put those back real quick. My thinking here is that if we were to, for example, put down a drawer, let's say right here, connect it with a blue connector. It doesn't matter where you put this drawer, by the way. It can be anywhere. I just want to find a place that was close to network cable and refined storage cable. So we're then going to put down a blue connector right about here. And we're going to call this one polymer clay. Okay? This is going to hold polymer clay. So we'll take polymer clay out. We'll grab our key. And we'll go ahead and lock that. So that can only hold polymer clay. And we're also going to put in the downgrade here. So now this can only hold at most a stack of polymer clay. What we're then going to do is we're going to put the exporter down right here, and we're going to connect that up to the system. We're then going to tell this to export polymer clay. So any polymer clay should be exported to here. On top of that, if you put the crafting upgrade in, what that then does is it tells the refined storage system, if we don't have any polymer clay, try and craft some if you can. Now, right now, the system actually doesn't know how to make polymer clay. That was a slight oversight. Let me quickly actually make a pattern for the polymer clay itself and put that into our crafter over here with the other patterns. So now what should happen, as soon as you put the crafting card up there, it should see that there's space in this drawer for polymer clay. It should see that we don't have any polymer clay. Therefore, it's going to say, okay, we need to make polymer clay. It's then going to realize that we don't have regular clay, so it will try and make some. It'll realize we don't have blocks of clay, so it'll try and make some. It will then maybe realize we don't have dirt. I think we do have dirt right now, but if we do ever run out of dirt in the future, it will then say, hey, make me some stone. And then that should all craft together into polymer clay, which will get then sent over, and then eventually exported round and over into the simulation chambers. So let's put the crafting card in, and let's see if that starts to work. We should hopefully see that start to work. Perfect. Yep, the number there is going up. Polymer clay is being made. And then the final thing we have to do here is set up a new item channel. We might as well use the first one here. Create. And we'll call this one polymer clay. And all we're going to do is we're going to extract from the polymer clay drawer right here. Extract. And we're also going to set it to round, which means it's going to alternate between each simulation chamber instead of sending it to just the first one. And then here we're going to go insert and insert. And so what we should see is that polymer clay being sent from, hopefully, oh, we might have to input the polymer clay from the top. Ooh, that's super awkward. People have told me that if we make advanced connectors for the simulation chamber, we can specify which side we input into. Let me try that real quick. So right now we've been using, or up until now, we've been using these regular blue connectors. You can make advanced connectors, which are made simply with regular connectors. So if I were to, for example, take this connector here and upgrade that to an advanced connector and rename that again to witch, we might be able to tell that to put the polymer clay in from the top, despite the fact that it's not on the top. So if I wanted to insert here, can I do that? Can I insert from the top? Side from which to operate. Up. It totally works. Okay, that is fantastic. So yeah, if you have an advanced connector, this option here is no longer grayed out, and you can select which side you want to insert to. So we're telling that to insert from the top. That is very, very cool. So if we do the same thing here with the blaze connector, again, upgrade that to advanced. It is a little pricey. It does require a diamond and an ender pearl, but that's fine. Put you down right about there. Rename that to blaze. And then over here, let's do the same again. Let's make sure you're set to create, insert, up. And I think we can also, at the same time there, on the extract channel, so like this channel here is extracting, or is inserting the polymer clay. This third channel here is the one that we also want to extract on. But here, we can create, extract from, is it the south that it's already at? It is. So it's on the south. So that is super cool, actually, because we can both insert from the top and extract from the south with the one cable. So this is set to extract. This one's set to extract, stack, stack. And so now all of the polymer clear, all of the matter actually, and we do want to specify that it is only matter that we want, so hellish matter and otherworldly matter. We don't want the pristine matters being pulled out. So, after all that, these are now full of polymer clay and should continue to be full of polymer clay. And in fact, actually, yes, chat has pointed out, we do need to not forget about power as well. Let's go ahead and insert and insert. Thank you, chat. So they should now be receiving power. They should also, going forward, receive a continuous supply of polymer clay, because we should always make more overworldly matter than the setup uses, and we should also hopefully always have silicon dioxide on hand. Right now we are burning through silicon dioxide at quite the pace because we have this little setup here trying to make that element for the nether star, but once that's done, we're going to turn that off, and then from then on we should be getting silicon dioxide from this setup here, so we should slowly but surely be kind of net gaining silicon dioxide due to all of the cobblestone that we're burning. So hopefully we always have silicon dioxide, therefore we can always make polymer clay, therefore we can always get the redstone, the sulfur, and the blaze rods, and therefore we should be able to now continually make pyrotheum dust to always produce 1,200 redstone flux per tick. And if we really wanted to, I think the system is probably now fast enough to where we can actually run a few of these. Like as soon as we leave this running for a little while, this is going to back up on pyrotheum dust, and I think we could if we wanted to run 2, 3, maybe more fuel generators, which we might do in the future if we need that kind of power. So somebody in the Twitch chat does point out quite handily that going forward, if we want to replace a pre-existing blue connector with an advanced connector, you can actually make the connector upgrade kit, which is essentially the same recipe, but you just need a piece of paper instead of the old connector. And that way you don't have to redo all of the, configuring inside the controller. You can just upgrade the pre-existing connector and then not have to redo it. As luck would have it, in the time it took us to set up that, we actually do have a stack of dysprosium. Nice. So we can unbookmark these. And so we should actually now, chat, be able to make the nether star. I really thought that was going to take a lot longer, but it appears that it is done. So I think if we head on over to our chemical combiner here, we might have everything it takes now to make our first nether star as part of this quest. So let's see. The nether star requires 4 stacks of hydrogen, all of the elements we've just acquired, and then a stack of rhodium, which we are so close to having. We can make more of this, I believe, in the fission multi-block. Yes, we were using thorium. So let's quickly do that and get that last piece that we need there. At that point, that should be everything for the nether star. We did also run XNet power over to this guy as well, so this guy is also powered by XNet under the floor there. So let's see. If we put in, we definitely have 4 stacks of hydrogen. Excuse me? We have 65 hydrogen. Okay, so I think we do have more hydrogen, definitely. But it might be hiding out in one of these drawers here. Here we go. Yes, there is our hydrogen. I was going to say, I knew we had hydrogen. It was just in one of these drawers here. Twitch chat has pointed out that we do have new elements now, so we can actually start putting those into our periodic table. So for example, the dysprosium here is number 66. Yeah, so it goes right here. So we'll go ahead and it's locked, so we can put it in and then just take it right back out. But then in the future, if we get more of it, it should go directly into there, which is perfect. What other elements do we now have? We have mendelevium, which is number 101, which is 3 from the end. So like right there. And again, we can take that right back out because we're going to use it momentarily. And then finally, we also have titanium and lutetium. I still don't think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but either way we have it. So we'll take that, and we'll also take a stack of titanium. So titanium is number 81. I feel like we already had titanium, but I could be wrong on that. It looks like I was wrong because we definitely do not have titanium. That's fine. We can throw that in there. Perfect. And then as for the mendelevium, as for the lutetium, that is number 71, which is all the way over on the end here. Cool. Okay, so all of those are now in there. We're slowly but surely filling out that periodic table, which is grand. And now, if we head on over, once again, to our chemical combiner, we should be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4 stacks of hydrogen, along with the stack of rhodium in the middle, and then titanium in the top right, the purple LU in the top left, I think it was DY in the bottom left, and then MD in the bottom right. Resume, and look at that, chat. We have another star. Perfect. We also unlocked the old fusion controller there, which is going to help us tremendously, of course, in terms of actually filling out the remainder of that periodic table. We unlocked a game stage nether star, so now we have the ability to build dimensions, should we like, from RF Tools, or the RF Tools dimension mod. We do need to fight and kill the end dragon at some point. Now, to do that, of course, we are on a server, and so the end dragon, I believe, has been killed a few times here, and so I think we are going to have 4 end crystals before we can make that happen. Now, we can make end crystals with nether stars. However, that is quite pricey. And I don't think that's a great way of going about it. I think it might not be a terrible idea for us to get an Enderman data model and go and kill some Enderman in the end, and then run that through the simulation chamber to get some pristine Enderman matter, and then use that to get end crystals. Because as I mentioned a little earlier in the stream, if we look at the quest here for the Draconium, it says Draconium dust is gotten from the End Dragon data model. So the only way that you can get into Draconic Evolution in this pack is via deep mob learning. You have to get a End Dragon data model, so you have to get the End Dragon, you have to kill it at least 6 times to get it to basic tier, and then run it through the simulation a bunch to level it up to get that pristine matter to then get the Draconium dust to then get into Draconic Evolution. So we do have to go through Draconic Evolution. So I think it is almost certainly going to be worth it for us to get both a End Dragon data model, and I think we should do these quests the other way around. We should probably... Oh, we can't do it the other way around. We have to kill the dragon first to get the egg, and then we can use the egg to make the data model. So we have to kill it at least 7 times in order to actually get it to basic tier to be able to put it in the simulation chamber. Okay, that's fine. Let's start by getting an Enderman data model. Ah, I see. Okay, so somebody has left some end crystals here for me. Presumably they have killed the dragon and, wanted me to be able to respawn it. Hello, my friend. So, I don't know if we're going to get an egg here. Like, I don't know if... usually, it would appear the way it works is that after the dragon has been killed once, it doesn't drop an egg, presumably. But one thing we should do before we fight the dragon is we should make sure that we have our glitch-infused sword. It's not really too useful on the first fight, actually. But on subsequent fights, we want to make sure that we can kill the dragon with the glitch-infused sword to make sure that we get multiple levels on our data model at a time, meaning that we have to kill fewer dragons to get to that basic tier. So let's go, and the first run here is going to be just to get the egg. Once we have the egg, we can then craft, and it's so loud every time. Once we have the egg, I should have got a bow actually because it's going to be a pain to, break these. Once we have the egg though, and in fact I can come back, right? Just put the end dragon on pause for a second. Get like a regular Minecraft bow and some arrows just so we can take these out without having to take damage. Hello, my friend. And our armor, if history is anything to go by, our armor should be more than good enough, I think, to take care of this. Also, is my render distance like super low? It is. Let me bump that up. The end dragon does appear to be somewhat stuck. I think we can... I don't know if you can shoot through these. I never seem to be able to shoot through these. So I'm just going to break them and then shoot them from a distance. I would prefer not to break it so close. Okay. So yeah, now my thought really is either we can chase it in the air, or alternatively, we can just wait till it lands and do some damage down there. We do want to periodically refill on our meat here. Probably the superior way. Oh, our armor is somewhat broken. That's true, actually. I didn't even notice. You going down? He's going down. Okay. Get the bow that you got as a reward. It was like raw, right? Yeah, here we go. Let's see if this thing's any good. I mean, it does. I mean, I don't know how good it is relative to a regular Minecraft bow, but I mean, it kind of works. Oh, it did some damage there by the looks of it. If you want to land, that would be perfect, my friend. Please come back within render distance. Let's not die. I should definitely have repaired my armor before I came here. I've also come to the conclusion it's not worth going for the head in terms of the damage dealt. Okay. So that is dragon number 1 done. Which is grand. We get dragon scales. Interesting. And there is an egg. Okay, cool. So we do need like a piston and a torch in order to grab that egg, but that shouldn't be a problem. Let's do a quick slash home. Yeah, that was not too bad. I think if we had our armor fully repaired, that would have been even easier. So let's get a torch. And then if we quickly head back, we should, of course, be able to get the torch to drop on this guy. And in fact, it looks like people have tried this. Perfect. Nice. All right. So we are good to go. We do have some Infinity Booster cards there, but we're not going to need them because we don't have an A2 system. So now, chat, if we do a quick slash home, we do have everything that it takes in order to craft the dragon egg data model, right? Or the dragon data model. Yes, we are going to have to get another blank data model, which is a bit of a pain. But then we can get the dragon egg data model, and at that point, we'll have to fight the end dragon about 3 more times. But if we do that, and I should get some cobalt and ardite going in there so we can make some more manual and polishing kits to repair my armor here for the next fight. But once we have that, we can then start getting into some stuff from Draconic Evolution. So it does appear that our power is kind of flickering. It looks like we might be using over 1,200 redstone flux per tick now. The Witch Matter here uses 120. The Blaze, I think, uses 256. So here is using about 500. I'm not quite sure how much power the... Oh, these use quite a bit. The operational cost is 256 RF per tick. So it only uses that when things are running through it. But that does mean that occasionally it is going to use quite a bit of power. So I think it might not be a terrible idea for us to get a second petrified generator. As I mentioned before, and as we can see now, this is backed up and this is backed up. And you can see other things are now starting to back up as well. So we do have the resources to fuel another petrified generator. And also they're not too difficult to make actually, which is perfect. It's going to look a little janky because this kind of fits nicely onto the wall here. Whereas this next one I'm going to put down kind of doesn't. Although I guess we could, if we wanted to, put it down like here. And that should also work, I think. Like, yeah, you can see that is going, it's kind of just behind the pipe here. So that is going in there. And so long as we make sure that all of this is set to input again, that therefore setting this left side to input, and then we'll quickly grab the wrench to set this to output. That should now mean that both of the petrified generators are pumping their power into the power cell. So now we're producing 2,400 redstone flux per tick, which should be good enough. Because again, we were kind of just on the edge with 1,200. Nice. I think, chat, we now have everything that we need to make a new data model here. We do. Perfect. And then if we take that and craft it with our newfound dragon egg, we get the end dragon data model. So we can claim those quests, more loot crates, and ooh, lava infused stone, hardened upgrade kit, white antimatter. Just the one? That seems odd. Oh man, there's so much here. Oh, this looks like, I think these are, oh, there's so much stuff. I think these are all of the things that you can get from the loot crates, but you just get to pick. Interesting. As always, I think I might just leave this for now and then come back if we need like a speed upgrade or an invar upgrade kit. I might just grab that. For now, though, let me clear out a couple of things in my inventory. And also, let's see if that manulin has smelted. It has indeed. So we need to grab the polishing kit cast and grab at least 2 polishing balls. We could use one on the leggings, but I think the leggings are going to be fine for now. Yeah, so this should be fine. We can repair our chestplate and our boots, which I think is basically going to make us pretty much invincible at that point. And then if we grab the learner, we can, of course, put in the end dragon data model. And if I put that down here, does that change its order on the page? It does. I kind of want it at the bottom of the list there, so we can actually see it even if there's like a tooltip in the top left there. So we have 6 Enderman kills to go. Let's go ahead and repair the boots and the chestplate. Perfect. Let's take this Ra's Fury, which isn't fantastic, but it gets the job done. And let's make sure we have enough arrows on us as well. And I guess, chat, let's go see if we can't kill the end dragon again. Although, actually, I guess, now that we've killed it once, we do need to make the crystals, right? If we're going to respawn it, we need 4 crystals. And so I think that what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to make an Enderman data model. Yeah, we're going to get an Enderman data model. That's going to allow us to make more end crystals. And then from there, we can then respawn the end dragon. Okay. That's fine. The Enderman, the end is full of Enderman, and our glitch-infused sword now does deal a ton of damage. Like, it's at 12 out of 18, so it's not even at its max level yet. And so we can level this up yet further. And so I think we might be able to kill the Enderman pretty quickly and level this up potentially to, advanced or further fairly quickly. Okay, so once again, that should be, I think, basically everything that we need here. 4 cobalt, all of the asinine, 2 palladium, and 2 soot-covered plates. Perfect. So we'll take that and craft that with presumably an ender pearl. Yes. And then we'll put that in the deep learner. Let's, we can put away, I think, these 3 for now. We don't really need them in there. So let's head on through to the end and see if we can't level up the Enderman data model to a higher level, to a point where it's a bit more usable. So I'm no idea how. I think this might be a 2-hit kill on Enderman. They have 40 HP and this does 22 damage. So I think 2 hits here, yeah, is enough. And we do get 2 levels, of course, per Enderman that we kill with this. So getting this leveled up really shouldn't take too long. So a little bit of Enderman killing later, and we now have a self-aware Enderman data model. Really didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take, which is fantastic. And so now we can start running those through the simulation chambers and the loot fabricators to get the end crystals. I think what I'm going to do, chat, we've got a good backlog of pyrotheum, and so I think temporarily I am going to hijack one of these machines for the Enderman data model. We're only going to need the Enderman data model, for now at least. All we need it for is getting enough crystals to fight the end dragon 3 times. So for that we need 12 crystals, which means 12 matter. So for now I'm just going to put it in here, let that run through, and hopefully produces 12 pristine Enderman matter, which one we can then use it in one of these loot fabricators, maybe the one for sulfur because that one's like the most empty. And then once that's done, we can then go ahead and put the witch back in here. Okay, so that is 4 end crystals, and we can put those back in there for now. We'll leave this running. I'll take out the matter there just so that doesn't get backed up. We'll leave that running. Hopefully by the time we come back, we'll have maybe 8 more so we can do the final fights here. But let's go see if we can't kill the dragon here again, which I think we should be able to do fairly easily, actually. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go in for fight number 2 here. Now, when I played Levitated, there was a glitch to where if you kept hitting the dragon after it died, like after you'd finally killed it, if you kept hitting it, it continued to level up the data model. I don't know if that's going to work this time or not, but I will try it just in case, because we might be able to get away with fewer dragon kills. We should hopefully have him here. No, alas, it doesn't seem to work. Unfortunately. As much as I would have liked it to. Well, that's 1 fight down. 2 to go. Do we have enough crystals? We do, just enough actually. Again, we'll take this out. So I'm hopeful that, again, once we come back, we should have... We've already got 1 more there. Perfect. So yeah, this should be just a case of fighting the dragon 2 more times here. I'm probably not going to go for any of the higher tiers. Like, we could, of course, fight the dragon a bunch to try and get it up to advanced, to superior, and then to self-aware. But I think in the interest of, not having to fight the dragon 35, 40 times, maybe more, that we're probably just going to fight it the 3 times, get our dragon data model up to the tier of basic, and then once it's hit basic, we can then just run it through the simulation chamber a bunch to get it up to higher levels. It is going to mean that we're going to start with a very small, like 5% chance of getting what we need from the dragon data model, but I think that's probably fine. It'll level up over time, and we do still have to spend a bit of time getting the dimension builder and getting some dimensional shards before we can get into draconic evolution anyway, so I think that's probably fine. That's 2. And there we go. That is a 3rd dragon killed, and therefore a basic end dragon data model. Holy heck. Took a while, chat, but we got there in the end. We're also going to claim some more scales here, another crate, and I didn't mean to go through the portal here. I do not wish to see the credits. So we now have a dragon data model that is of the basic tier. So going forward, we'll probably want to make a new simulation chamber for it. We'll probably also want to make some more power, because as people have pointed out, the power cost of using the data model for the end dragon is 2,560 redstone flux per tick. So we do need, basically more than the power of these 2 petrified generators combined just to run the end dragon data model. But now that we have polymer clay automated, it should hopefully be as easy as us getting 1 more simulation chamber, pumping and ultra crafting that polymer clay into that simulation chamber, and then using that to level up the end dragon data model. Hopefully, eventually to the point where it gets to self-aware, and that should hopefully allow us to get a bunch of end dragon pristine matter, which we can then use to get draconium later on down the line. Before we get there, though, we do have to go and get a dimension builder and get some dimensional shards so we can actually make the draconium, which does require draconium dust, dimensional shards, and purple glowstone dust. At that point, we can get into draconic evolution. We can also, at some point, make the fusion multi-block and then start looking, I guess, at the final quests here. But again, before that, we're probably going to want to look at more power. I definitely want to look at potentially getting, like I said, the fission and fusion reactors. They can produce a ton of power. And also, I think we still do desperately need to up our resource generation. Right now, we're not really getting all that many resources all that quickly. We are now getting iron and gold a little faster thanks to our cobblestone setup. But again, that could still be faster even than it is now. And I do still think that we could get potentially even more laser draw bases going, and also eventually potentially a quantum quarry to really start to bring in resources a lot faster. But those are all problems for future Isaac, because for now I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's stream there.